it's Laura Scholes. I'm a financial planner here with Educo Advisor Group. In this month's blog video, we are talking about saving versus investing. So they might sound similar, but they're quite different. We get questions all the time. How much should I have in my savings account? When should I start investing? Should it be alone or separate from my spouse? What do I even do with my retirement account? We can help you with all of that in our Elevate with Educo financial planning process. It's a step-by-step balanced process that we walk you through to help meet your goals. What's the difference between savings and investing? So a savings account is typically with the bank. You get a lower interest rate, and that's cash. Investing is actually purchasing stocks, bonds, or other types of securities in the market, and you can typically grow your account a little bit quicker depending on the market and what type of products you're invested in. So I'm going to go over the pros and the cons of both a savings account and an investment account. Now, when I talk about investment accounts, it's not just for retirement. A lot of people just think investing is for their 401k or IRAs or something that they should be doing for retirement. You can actually take your money that's not for retirement from a savings account or gradually build with like a monthly contribution, an individual or a non-retirement investment account. So the pros of a savings account is that it's cash. It's relatively low risk. You can transfer it to and from your checking account usually pretty quickly. You have quick access to it. Most banks have FDIC insurance, so it's protected up to $250,000 per individual. And usually there's either no or very low account fees. This type of account is good for short-term goals. So anything coming up that you're saving for, I'd say within the next 6 to 12 months, a savings account would be good for that. Some cons for a savings account would be actually one of the pros is having quick access to that money. So some of us have trouble not touching our savings account, especially when our checking account is getting a little bit low or right before payday. It's very easy to just sweep that money over from your savings account into your checking account. So that can be a con if you are proactively building up and saving for something in the future. You're potentially missing out on higher returns. Most banks, the average savings account rate is 0.5% on your balance, which is quite low. And actually you can lose purchasing power by keeping all of your money in a savings account against inflation, because inflation, especially over the last couple of years, has been much higher than what banks are actually paying as an interest rate. So some of the pros for an investment account, it's better for a longer term investment. So sometimes it takes a little bit longer for the market or the money to make you money, market to do its job. So by keeping that money in an investment account for longer term goals, which is why it's so commonly used for retirement, it has time to grow. It has time to build. There's also a potential for higher returns. Sometimes the market has really great years, sometimes it has worse years, but on average, the market will return about 8%, which is much higher than that 0.5% that the banks are paying. Again, that is not guaranteed. So investing in an investment account can be risky, which is why it has a higher return. There is no FDIC insurance. There is no protection or guarantee that you'll get your money back on most investments in the market. Definitely something to be aware about. Another pro that we have is it's not as easy to just transfer that money over to your checking account. So if you are saving up for something such as maybe you want to upgrade your home in a few years or buy a car or do something special, some crazy vacation you've always dreamed of, or even something planned for your kids such as college or helping them buy their first home, first car, passing on a legacy, those longer term goals are better for investment accounts, but also you won't be tempted to just sweep the money over into your checking account because it takes a couple of days. We have to sell the securities, get it to cash, send it to your bank account. It's a lot harder than just sweeping it over from your savings account. Another pro for investing is you can actually diversify by buying mutual funds or ETFs, or even just spreading your funds across a bunch of different securities, stocks and bonds, and so on. We can help guide you through that. It can be very overwhelming, very confusing. There's a lot of terminology, a lot of jargon that the financial industry uses. So we can help you with all of that and make sure that you're fully diversified, but also in the right risk level so that you are able to meet your goals, or at least potentially meet your goals within your time frame. Some of the cons of an investment account, there are trading fees. So fees to get in or sometimes get out, depending on what type of product or investment account you are looking at, or just trading in the market generally. Those can add up if you're actively trading every day in the market. We tend to be more buy and hold driven, not so much day trading. But if you're doing it on your own, through one of your own accounts, like on an app or something, those fees can add up quickly. So it's definitely something you want to be aware of. Another thing is the con: moving the money. If you need it like for an emergency fund or something, it does take a couple of days. I just explained that a little bit ago. And there is a higher risk of losing your money, especially if you're not working with a professional and just jumping into a random security. There's a higher potential of loss, but without risk, no return. So we got to create that balance through diversification. So here's an example with some numbers so you can just kind of get a quick idea. If you save $200 a month from the time you're 25 to 65, so that's 40 years, every single month you save $200 and put it in the market. On average, you'd get a 7 to 8% return over those years. Some up, some down, but on average, it's about 7 or 8. In this example, we're using 7% return. You would have invested about $96,000 of your own money, but your portfolio based on those values would be about $512,000. And that's because your money is working for you in an investment account. If you take that same $200 and you put it in a savings account every single month from the age you're 25 to 65, that same 40 years, that same $200, at a savings rate of 2.3%, you would have invested that same $96,000, but would only have about $158,000. So for quick math, that's about $350,000 difference by just saving in a savings account versus in an investment account. Again, the national average savings rate is 0.5%. So 2.3% return is actually very generous for a savings account. With all this information, what should you do? We want to make sure that we're saving for retirement. That's a top priority. But once you have an emergency fund build, and it's different for everybody, so we can help you determine how much cash, and that's like savings account cash, you should have ready and available for anything that you may need that cash for. After that, when can you start investing? At what point? How much money is saved? How much are you contributing in retirement? At what point can you start investing in a non-retirement account to help boost your net worth and help make your money work for you? We walk you through all of these steps with our Elevate with Educo financial planning process. So click the link below, and it's our calendar. You can schedule an appointment with me directly. We can get to know each other a little bit, and I can help you pursue your financial goals. Again, my name is Laura Scholes with Educo Advisor Group, and I'll see you next month.